This does not really need a video made, but we're gonna make it. This is my pork sausage. It's similar to the Owens style. Depending on the part of your country, you might have had Jimmy Dean's. I've heard of it, never had it. It's just a ground pork sausage. They make it in a plastic casing, so there's no actual sausage casing. You slice it out, usually frozen, and it's just ground pork spiced up. It's a breakfast sausage. I did make a video of this back in 2016 on a really bad camera with really bad audio. Simple recipe. I'm just making it for breakfast, and I thought I would show you. Here's the recipe. It will be in the description of this video. Got my spices out, and I generally do measure for this. I don't measure for most things, but I'm using spoons. And for me, the main seasoning is sage. For me, that says sausage. Not sure where I got that idea. You don't need to measure into 2 containers, but this is everything that does not get ground. This is everything that does get ground. Generally, I would only take the thyme and rosemary and run it through a mortar and pestle. But this is the first time I've made sausage since we got the food processor, and it has a fancy spice grinder attachment. So I'm throwing a couple extra things in. Pepper flakes, thyme. What else is getting ground up? Not even sure. You got to put enough in to give this something to do. If it was just the thyme or just the rosemary, there wouldn't be enough. Not completely ground, but it's actually about what I want. Just kind of broken up. The recipe is very, very simple. You have your mixing bowl. Add 1 kilo of ground pork. I generally don't put beef in it, but I have a little bit of beef, so I am using it. I made spaghetti. For spaghetti, I use a 50-50 mix. Take an egg, put it in a bowl. I use the egg as a binder to kind of help hold the meat together. I don't know if it's necessary, but I do it. The spices all go in together at one time. I only separated these out because I was grinding them. I put them in the egg. The reason I do this is so I can get a good mix on them before they go into the meat. Otherwise, they may kind of clump together and you'll have a paprika section, a sage section, what have you. It kind of looks like mud. And at this point, I would not recommend tasting it. Raw egg with a bunch of spice. No thank you. Because there's beef, I'm going to pre-mix it a little bit. It's not real major. It will get mixed up very thoroughly when I add the mud. You want to scrape out as much as you can because you don't want to throw any of your spice away. Yeah, I cheated. I washed it. But it looked good, didn't it? Anyway, yes, I've thoroughly washed my hands. And you mix in the spicy egg mixture. This part's actually kind of fun. The meat's mixed up pretty good. I reserved 2 pieces out because I'm cooking breakfast. That's what started this whole thing. Okay, I'm back. Tried to wash my hands and the water is off. We have a new management company that took over the condo, and I've got to say, they're pretty crappy. They've made some really stupid changes, and for some reason, they can't keep the water on anymore. What the fuck? It's back on now. I had to wash my hands. Anyway, we're going to form, if you've seen Owens sausage, it comes in like a round, it looks almost like a stuffed, sausage skin, but they use plastic. So So we're going to take this and we're going to make a roll. I generally make about twice as much as this because I freeze it and it lasts for freaking ever. You want it to be about the size of a bigger round, like an English muffin size, because I generally make like egg sandwiches out of them. Because it is really soft, it will go flat on the bottom, so as it freezes, you reshape it. Otherwise, you will have a weird corner. Roll that up. Really easy, kind of sticky, but not bad. It's actually kind of fun. They're not exactly the same size. It doesn't matter. You're just going for a loaf that you can freeze and then slice off as needed. And that's it. You do that, put it in a baggie. Almost every time you see the screen cut out and go back, I'm washing my hands, by the way. Anyway, that's made. It goes in. It's gonna start losing its shape because it's just ground meat and a piece of saran wrap. And then you put it in the freezer. Squeeze out as much of the air as you can. And put that in the freezer. And as I said, while it's freezing, you bring it out a couple times and kind of just reshape it to try and keep it round. A flash freezer is what we need at this point, but I don't have a flash freezer. I used to work on them. They're amazing pieces of equipment. Now to cook breakfast with the remains. Super easy recipe. Pretty good sausage. I haven't had the Owens sausage in probably since 1982. This tastes like I remember. Except I remember it being spicier, but I was a little kid and we ate very bland food, so it probably wasn't actually as spicy as I remember. I keep adding more and more peppers to this and it's never spicy enough. So I finally stopped and said, it's okay. We're not gonna have you watch me eat the sandwich because I need to get out of this shirt. My stitches are starting to bug the crap out of me. Anyway, we're gonna try the sausage. I like it. That's a pretty good sausage. Needs some more pepper. Always does though, doesn't it? Easy, fun recipe. You can have breakfast sausages. And make eggy sandwiches. Life's not all bad here, you know? Even if the condo can't keep the water running. Small technical difficulty. I plugged in the rice cooker, not the processor. Oh, as I was wrapping it, I ran out of saran wrap. Pardon me. Hey Google, add plastic wrap to shopping list.
Flashlight isn't available on your device.
See what I go through?
Enjoy your day in paradise.